and Francoise on time.
Everybody hands go up, and they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say yeah.
Rain from everywhere.
Three family.
No matter what, got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up, and they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Thank you so much. Such a great day to be back with our three family. Y'all excited? Ricky and I are very honored. We're very blessed to be here today and represent our faith, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
And our remarkable company, three. And our greatest gratitude to our founder, CEO, our friend, our mentor, Daniel PQ. And we all know besides every great man, there's a what? Great woman, right? Thank you, Charity, for all you do behind the scenes. And if we could, just put our hands together and give a round of applause for our corporate team for all their hard work. It's the first half of the first day and we're already blown away. So exciting. And last but not least, of course, I would love to give a shout out to our Ukraination family. Where are you at? Aw, we love you guys. We honor each and every one of you. And we are so proud of what we've been able to accomplish together in the last 18 months. But we're just getting started. As you could see, 3 has been diligent, patient, to ensure when they launch a product, it's going to align with the philosophy. It's going to be disruptive, innovative. It's going to help level up our business. James 2:26 says, faith without works is dead. And so we have to look at ourselves and we have to take action. Now, this new product launch, you guys are excited about it, right? Make some noise. One more time. So now we have to channel that excitement, that intention into action. And I know taking action is easier said than done. You know, I've been in the industry now for 9 years and I've seen a lot of people struggle with this. Intentions are valuable, but they're not enough. Without action, they're merely just an interest. So if we want to rewrite our stories, if we want to rise to our full potential, then we're going to have to stop thinking and start doing. So let's take some wisdom from some people that have really accomplished extraordinary things, like visionary Walt Disney. Walt Disney says, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Or maybe an elite professional athlete like Serena Williams. I'm not going to sit around and wait for things to happen. I'm going to make them happen. So proactive, you can just hear it in her tone. Or a well-known motivational speaker like Tony Robbins. The path to success is to take massive action, determined action. And there's so much drive in that. So how do we take that type of attitude, that trait, those characteristics, and really just weave them into the fabric of who we are, right? Because that's what we want to do, so we can apply that into our business. How do we do that? Well, we all know that there's so many ways out there to get different resources, whether it's YouTube, we can learn anything on YouTube is what my husband says. But you know, there's self-help books, there's all these things, and they're all great. But what if we just changed one minor thing and would make a massive difference in your business. I believe if we just become a person that does what they say and say what they do, it would change everything in your life. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you're not accountable to your friends and your family, and you could be that person, but I'm talking about to yourself. Do you hold yourself accountable? Because I think that's the hardest thing. You know, we are here at convention, everyone's excited, but when we go back home, most of us will go on a run. Does all the teams do that, like 90 days run, 60 days, right? Hands up high if your team's gonna go on a run. Because I know we are. We actually started ours already. But why don't you be that person that says, okay, well, if I'm gonna go on a 90-day run, I'm gonna do a home event every week for the next 90 days. Well, just do it, right? Stop thinking and start doing. Or maybe you're like, I want to be more active in my social media platform. I want to do a live every day. Well, just do it. Or maybe you've been looking at your chicken list for the last 18 months and you're like, I'm going to call everyone. What are we going to do? Just do it, right? It's pretty powerful just to stop thinking and start doing and taking action. That drive, that stuff, what you have inside of you, you have to stop thinking here and just take that action. So I don't know where we're going as a company yet. They haven't released it, but you know, the yearly, annual, you know, the trips that we take as a company, like Tulum and the Ritz-Carlton and things like that. Is anyone excited and want to go on those trips? Raise your hand. Hands raised high. Yes, right? I'm so excited for those trips. But what if we just did it? We just qualified for it. We just went out there and did the action to put us in the position to win. All right? I want you guys to say this with me with conviction, because if you don't have conviction in your words, you could never rise into your true leadership skills. So I want, on the count of 3, I want us all together to say, just do it. 1, 2, 3. Just do it. Now, that is the type of action that separates leaders from followers. And if you're struggling in this area and you're feeling stuck and paralyzed, it's probably a sign that your vision isn't clear enough. And I've been there. You know, when I gave up my career for 7 years, you know, I was a director of nursing. I ran 4 departments. My largest department was over 1,000 people, 3,000 people every day I was responsible for, and I felt like I had purpose. And when I stepped away from that to be home with my children, I lost myself. I felt like I was living in my husband's shadow. I didn't have motivation, drive, any of that. And then everything changed for me when I came across this sermon and it talked about destiny. And it inspired me, it resonated with me, and I started journaling, and I started asking myself 3 questions. What is my calling? What is my purpose? And what is my assignment? And this changed everything for me. So what does that really mean? A calling is about identifying and pursuing a path that brings fulfillment, meaning, a sense of contribution to the world. What makes you feel good? What brings you meaning in your life? For me, I have always known that I am on this earth to serve people. Whether I was working with the governor of Florida, I was taking care of quadriplegics and paraplegics, or if I moved into the Alzheimer's and dementia unit and I took care of, you know, people that were struggling with that, I always knew I was meant to serve. But when it came to purpose and recognizing my gifts, I didn't even know what they were. It's weird. I struggled here. And this might be where a lot of you are struggling, because your purpose is what unlocks your leadership skills. So if you're not stepping in to your destiny, then it's probably because you haven't figured this out. And it's because I personally have been trained to get a good education. My mom was from a third world country, and it was always like, you have to be able to support yourself. I never want you to struggle like I have. And so I worked my whole life to get a job, or really a title, right? And just work for a paycheck. And then when they stripped all that away, I was like, just so lost. Honestly, just hopeless. And so when you can figure out your gifts will actually give you your assignment. And your assignment is divine. This is what you're meant to do on earth. And so when you're looking at this, Your purpose is the key to your passion. What are you passionate about? When you get up in the morning and your feet hits the floor, what are you excited to do? Because that is going to lead you into your purpose. And you can never really step into your leadership skills until you find that. And so when I did, that is when everything changed for me, and I really reached my full potential. And my vision got clear. That's another thing. You have to have a vision. You have to have a target. Because if you don't, every time you'll miss it. And so another profound example of somebody that really stepped into their destiny was Nehemiah in the Bible. He was a humble cupbearer, and God called him for a greater purpose. He called him to save his people from captivity. He called him to rebuild a wall in Jerusalem that no one has even attempted in 100 years. The wall was burned and destroyed. And without any special talent, skills, or experience, Nehemiah, there was no way he should have any confidence, not even this much, to go out and do something so big. But he accepted his assignment with courage, with faith, with purpose, and with passion. And he rebuilt that wall in 52 days. And his people lived unprotected, scared, in fear for 100 years. I believe each and every one of you are called, not just for a title, not to stand on stage and say I'm a 6-star, 4-star, but to put a protective wall around your family. My husband and I, saying yes to this profession, we've been able to do that. And I want that for each and every one of you. So it's your turn. What's your purpose? What's your assignment? Step into your true potential. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. Be prepared to fail forward. Be prepared to go do it scared. You know how many things I do scared? But don't wait. Take action and rise. Now I'd like to share a video with you. It's a very inspirational one, very touching, of a dear friend of ours who chose to rise.
Hi, my beautiful 3 family. I'm Anna Strange, and I just wanted to share a glimpse about my life with you. So I was born in Russia in 1991 to the most amazing father that anyone could ask for, and a terrible birth mother who happened to be in the mob, which I didn't know, and neither did he for a while. My father, from a young age, instilled in me that I was strong, I was beautiful, I could do anything, and I can overcome anything. And to this day, I thank him for instilling that into me, because I should have been dead more than once or twice or 3 times in my lifetime. My father was murdered by my mother, and he was pushed off of our 27-story apartment building, and he landed right in front of me when I was 6 years old. After that, my birth mother moved in with members of the mob, and she tried to sell me to the mob, and I ran away. I lived in the woods in Russia wearing a t-shirt. A lot of that year is really blank in my head, just probably to contain my sanity, but I do remember eating grass and tree bark and cigarette butt, and I had nothing in the freezing cold in Russia. How I survived, I honestly, to this day, I have no idea. But every day I told myself I was strong and I could do it, and I did. Eventually I found my birth mother, and I demanded she take me to an orphanage, and that is the last time I saw my birth mother. She walked me up to this very old building with this creaky gate, and I walked through the gate and I turned around and she was gone. In a span of about a year and a half, I went through 8 different orphanages. I kept running away due to multiple levels of abuse. I'm not going to go into it too much. But my 8th orphanage, the headmistress was actually wanting to adopt me, and I got so excited because I knew she loved me. And then I was told some Americans were coming to come get me, and that I was so lucky, and everything was going to be great. I was going to have that American dream. I didn't want the American dream, to be honest. I wanted the headmistress to adopt me, but the Americans came and they got me, and I was sort of excited because I had siblings now. They had 3 children of their own and 3 other adopted children. But then that American dream dwindled very, very quickly. I endured physical, mental, emotional abuse for 9 years, to the point that I honestly thought I was better off dead or back in Russia. I saved myself by joining the military when I was 17 years old, and I did not let what happened to me harden me to the world or change who I am to this day. And I did, and will continue to choose to rise. Thank you for listening to my story.
Wow. Look at that photo. The most important part of that video for me, besides the misery she grew up in, was the end, where Anna said, "I will rise." And my prayer today is that there's people in here that will choose to rise. For me, this profession is not that hard to illustrate to get you success. The problem with this profession is people can forget to continue to rise. As I heard Anna's story, her mom had her dad killed. He fell 27 stories next to her as she was playing. Then got rid of her. Then she thought she was going to be saved and moved to the United States, and her family put her in a basement. But what's the most important? She said she will rise. And that's what this convention's about. This room can be 20 times bigger if everybody does it in harmony and chooses to rise and take action. So behind me right here, I have a visual illustration of what it looks like. I mean, we heard yesterday, Daniel, 15 years old, had no hope. He was in a boys' home. He was broke. Why is there always a silver lining in success? It's usually pain. Did you hear Kim yesterday? She said, "I will never clean toilets," because she chose to rise. We know 3 is the source, right? If you look back there, it says platform, it says people, purpose, platform. In reality, this is the platform. 3, what is your purpose? And then you go out and get the people. But here's the problem. What is this? Some of you young kids probably don't know what this is, but this is a well pump. We used to run up to this in the field and drink out of it. So you pump it to get water, right? This is the same thing with this profession. The action, 3 is the source, right? But you have to do the action to get what? Whatever you're looking for. But here's what happens. Kim says, "Oh, my friend quit." She gets her hand off the pump. She quits doing the action. She's over here for weeks at a time, and she stops. I'm here to tell you today, there's a lot of people that quit in this profession. And that shouldn't define your success or your action. You should constantly be doing this. The people that I've met that's successful in this profession, they continue to pump. They continue to do the work over and over and over. High school dropout right here, 19 years old, started my first business. And my first mentor said, "Ricky, all you have to do is work." You know, Dyson vacuum cleaners, he failed 5,126 times. And guess what? He went on to produce $9 billion in revenue. I see people try 1, 2, 3 phone calls and never walk back and take action again. This profession ain't hard. You know what the problem is? It's everything you already know. It's not something you're going to learn here. It's forgetting everything that keeps you from doing this. And that's believing in yourself. My happiest moments in this profession is standing here and watching that my wife came from poverty. Poverty. Her mom made $4 an hour. Her dad left her. Her mother left the house empty. She decided to rise, and she decided to keep going. She graduated with her nursing degree by the time she was 22 years old because she kept on. She didn't let that define her. How many leaders in this profession, soon as something doesn't happen right, soon as the water stops coming out, they stop taking action. And instead of action, they complain. And then complain turns to blame. And all they have to do is keep talking to people. A lot of people are complaining right now about society, inflation, the economy. I've been through all of that. I've been broke. I lived in a 200 square foot shack, didn't have any money. All I did is this. No president, no inflation, no recession changed the fact that all I had to do is work. It's time, as I hear God tell me, a fresh wind on this company. Jesus said, blessed is the person that does not see and believes. When are you going to start believing in what you don't see? Because if you do, Jesus said you'll be blessed. All the time I see people, here's the problem with most. They do this, the water starts coming out, and they think they're done. They walk off. They think it's just going to keep on flowing. This is a 4 to 6 year career in this profession. We're 17 months in, and there's people already stopping working. What did you say yes to? What is going to define you? Are you going to be known for the people like Daniel? Guess what? This is a revelation for you. None of you would be sitting here if he stopped and took his hand off the work. What does he say all the time? Work works, right? So what I want you to do today, before you stand, I want someone very special to my wife and I, Anna Strange, to stand. This is Anna. Give her a hand.
I'll do it.
God repeatedly told me that this woman's story was going to free some people, not only here, but in her future. Our trash is someone else's treasure. Who cares her mom left her? She has a family now. And she has people. Amen. And as much as this is for you to rise, this is for her to know her story helped you rise. And here's what the beautiful part of this profession, eventually, look, you're sitting here doing this by yourself, and then you find someone that's in need. You find someone and you start pumping, and then guess what? You bring on Anna on board, and Anna starts helping you, and then Francoise starts helping you, and guess what? You start filling the buckets, and then after about 4 to 5 years, it gets really easy, and then you start impacting people more than you ever could do just with money. So here's what I want you to do today as we close. Just like Anna did. There's some signs above my head. I want you to say the word after I say I will. All right? I will. I will. I will. That's sore, right? Okay. I mean, I'm not that smart, but I will
Rise.
Come on. If you can't say it for yourself, say it for Anna. I will
Rise.
I will
Rise.
take action and rise together, and let's fill a coliseum. God bless.
I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise up.
Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta put some hands together. Make some noise, y'all, for this beautiful moment. Make some noise for Anna. Make some noise for Ricky and Francoise on Tamara. Come on, y'all, make some noise. Come on, 3, you can do it.